네, 안녕하세요, 여러분. 오늘 아침 일찍부터 이렇게 여러분들 나와주셔서 대단히 감사합니다. 여러분 아시다시피 LA 한인회에서 지난 한 7, 8개월 동안 코로나 인해서 많은 한인분들이 경제적인 타격을 입고 뭐 이제 집세도 못 내셔가지고 뭐 이백션 당하신 분들도 계시고 뭐 여러 가지 지원금 프로그램들이 주정부나 연방 정부에서 나왔는데 2년 전서부터 실업수당 EDD를 많이 저희가 도와드렸고 작년부터는 저희가 렌트 미납되신 분들을 위해서 Emergency Renters Assistance 프로그램을 시작을 했고 작년 12월 27일 날 캘리포니아 주정부에서 American Rescue Plan Act 돈을 통해서 캘리포니아 모기지 릴리프 프로그램이 시작이 됐습니다. 그래서 모기지를 최소 2달치 밀리신 분들을 도와드리는 정부 지원 프로그램을 시작을 했는데 저희가 최근에 그 비영리 단체로서 이 프로그램을 좀 더 확대하고 좀 더 알리고 많은 한인분들이 신청을 할 수 있게끔 그래서 이제 경제적인 도움을 받을 수 있게끔 프로그램이 시작을 했습니다. 그래서 저희가 오늘 모인 이유는 예전에도 많은 분들이 이 프로그램을 통해서 도움을 받았지만 또 해당 사항이 안 돼서 도움을 못 받으신 분들이 많습니다. 그래서 요번에 저희 캘리포니아에서 이 프로그램을 더 확대하기 위해서 오늘 그 확대에 대한 절차하고 내용들을 설명하기 위해서 오늘 모였습니다. Thank you everyone for joining us today so early in the morning. CAFLA has been assisting community members receive in-language translation services for multiple state, federal, local grants and programs. We've been working heavily on the Emergency Renters Assistance Program, until now. Recently, last year, the state of California released the California Mortgage Relief Program, and we see that it's helping community members a lot who are struggling due to the COVID-19 pandemic. We have several program directors and folks from Sacramento visiting us today. We also have Orange County Tax Collector's Office here today. So I see that we're going to be working in the future really closely together to make sure that we can serve all the people in this community and all throughout California. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Ms. Lourdes Castro Ramirez, Secretary of the Business Consumer Services and Housing Agency. She's been a great leader in our community, and she's been helping to stabilize housing for Californians, and she's provided incredible leadership throughout the pandemic. Secretary Castro Ramirez was not able to join us in person today, so she'll be joining us via Zoom. So at this time, I would like to introduce Madam Secretary.
And thank you so much for your partnership with the state. In March of last year, the state stood up the California COVID-19 Rent Relief Program, which has since prevented more than 1 million people from being evicted, helping them stay stably housed with rental and utility bill assistance. Nearly 167,000 households assisted live in LA County. And we know that many homeowners were also impacted by widespread job and wage loss. Launched earlier this year, the California Mortgage Relief Program is part of the state's comprehensive COVID-19 recovery plan to ensure that homeowners not lose their homes. With $1 billion in funding from the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, we are assisting homeowners facing a financial hardship due to COVID-19 to pay off accumulated and past due mortgage payments. And this is not a loan, it's a grant, so it does not need to be paid back. The program was designed with the most economically vulnerable households in mind and continues to be a valuable resource for low to moderate income homeowners. I am pleased with our progress so far. In 5 months, we have paid out more than $68 million to nearly 2,000 households, more than a quarter of them here in LA County. But we can do more. This morning, I am joined by my colleagues from the California Housing Finance Agency. I should say they are in LA and I am in Sacramento. But I'm proud that they're in LA to announce a major program expansion to the California Mortgage Relief Program. We recognize the ongoing economic struggle of homeowners, That's why I'm proud of the team and the changes that they will be introducing to expand assistance and access to more Californian homeowners impacted by COVID-19, helping them to get the support and the resources that they need to stay housed. I appreciate the California Housing Finance Agency for broadening the program eligibility criteria and for including property tax relief in support and in help of more people moving forward. I again thank President Biden and his administration for making this much needed funding relief available. Finally, I applaud the governor and the legislature for moving with urgency and care by addressing housing as a public health matter and helping Californians stay stably housed. With today's announcement, we are making a bold statement about California's ability to respond to on-the-ground needs. We strengthen our communities by making mortgage relief available to more Californians, particularly more vulnerable Californians, because after all, a family that remains housed contributes to the stability and the well-being of their neighborhood. And now I'd like to share my remarks in Spanish for the Spanish-speaking audience in Los Angeles. Muchas gracias al presidente de la Federación Coreana Estadounidense de Los Ángeles, James An, por la amable presentación. Es un placer estar con ustedes el día de hoy para anunciar cambios que facilitan mayor acceso al programa de rescate hipotecario para apoyar a propietarios de viviendas en California. Muchos californianos enfrentaron dificultades financieras por la pandemia de COVID-19 y aún continúan enfrentando dificultades económicas. De hecho, aproximadamente 10% de los propietarios de viviendas en California no confían en absoluto o solo confían un poco en poder hacer el pago de hipoteca el próximo mes, según la Oficina del Censo de los Estados Unidos. Desde que comenzó la pandemia, el gobernador Newsom declaró que la salud pública era la alta prioridad. Y esto incluía mantener a las personas y familias en sus viviendas, tanto para los inquilinos como para los propietarios. En marzo del año pasado, el Estado puso en marcha el programa de ayuda con la renta de COVID-19, lo que evitó el desalojo de más de 1 millón de personas al ayudarles a permanecer en un hogar estable con asistencia con la renta y pagos de servicios públicos. Casi 167,000 son familias que viven aquí mismo en el condado de Los Ángeles. Y sabemos que también muchos propietarios han enfrentado la misma clase de dificultades económicas. Lanzando al comienzo de este año, el programa del rescate hipotecario de California es parte del Plan Integral de Recuperación de COVID-19 del Estado. Al contar con $1,000 millones en fondos del gobierno federal, podemos ayudar a los propietarios de viviendas que han enfrentado dificultades financieras debido a COVID-19 a ponerse al día con los pagos atrasados de hipoteca. El programa se enfoca en poder ayudar a las familias que se encuentran económicamente vulnerables y sigue siendo un recurso valioso para los propietarios de viviendas con ingresos bajos a moderados. Hemos logrado mucho con este programa. En 5 meses hemos pagado más de $68 millones a casi 2,000 familias. Más del 25% de las familias viven en el condado de Los Ángeles. Pero podemos hacer más. Esta mañana me acompañan mis colegas de College FA para anunciar una importante ampliación al programa del rescate hipotecario de California. Reconocemos que la lucha continúa para algunos propietarios de viviendas. Por eso me siento orgullosa de que nuestro equipo haya introducido medidas de facilitar mayor acceso por medio de cambios a los requisitos para solicitar asistencia. Y nuevamente agradezco al presidente Biden y a su administración por poner a disposición esta ayuda necesaria. También agradezco al gobernador y a la legislatura por sus acciones concretas y rápidas para atender las necesidades de viviendas de los californianos. Deseamos fortalecer nuestras comunidades al poner a disposición ayuda hipotecaria, ya que una familia que permanece en su vivienda contribuye a la estabilidad de su familia y al bienestar del vecindario. Para más información puede visitar la página web camortgagerelief.org o llamar al número 1-888-840-2594. Gracias. And now I'd like to introduce the Executive Director of the California Housing Finance Agency to share more details about the changes that we're announcing today. Tina Johnson Hall.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Tina Johnson Hall, and I am the Executive Director of the California Housing Finance Agency, also known as CalHFA. I want to thank you all for joining us and send special gratitude to Mr. An and the Korean American Federation of Los Angeles for being great partners and for hosting us today. I also want to acknowledge Secretary Castro Ramirez, her great remarks, and for her leadership and commitment to addressing our state's housing crisis. And thanks also to representatives from the offices of Congresswoman Karen Bass, Assemblyperson Miguel Santiago, Councilman Herb Wesson, all for taking time to be here today. CalHFA is a state agency that helps low and moderate income Californians buy their first home. And we also provide financing to build affordable rental housing. We also are administering the California Mortgage Relief Program on behalf of the state. The program has been providing grants up to $80,000 to homeowners throughout the state so that they can get caught up on the housing payments that they missed due to the pandemic. And while we have already helped about 2,000 households get back on their feet, I'm excited to announce that we are expanding our program so that even more Californians can get help. Many of you will remember that the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021 set aside $10 billion for homeowner assistance, and about $1 billion of those funds coming to California back in December. Despite having the biggest program in the country, we were able to stand it up relatively quickly. And we're just the third state in the U.S. to fully open up to applications. And now, just 6 months later, California has distributed the most assistance in any state in the nation. But there's more we can do. When we designed the program last year, we focused on getting these funds out to those folks who had the most urgent need. And while the pandemic has not gone away by any means, a lot has changed since it began. And the program needs to evolve to make sure that it is meeting the needs that stand today. So starting this week, we are expanding the income eligibility so that more Californians can qualify for assistance. That's great. We're also resetting the delinquency date so that homeowners who have missed payments more recently are now eligible. And finally, we're going to start providing funds directly to counties to help Californians get caught up on missed property tax payments. Rebecca Franklin, standing here, is the president of the CalHFA Homeowners Assistance Corporation, and she's here with me today and can answer questions on the program changes a little later. But our message right now is a simple one. If you are behind on your payments, go to the website and apply. We are here to help you. And that is You can find us at camortgagerelief.org. If you have any questions, call us. Even if the program isn't the one that can help you, call us. We will point you in the right direction. People in this situation can often feel alone, like nobody understands, nobody can help me. I don't know where to go. But I'm here to tell you that is not true. That is absolutely not true. Unstable housing is the enemy. It's an issue right now, and it's very personal to me. I'll tell you why. I was a single mom. I had 2 kids. We lived in affordable housing just less than 5 miles from here. When I got ready to buy my first house, we moved all the way out to Ontario, but we got it. And what I remember thinking was, this is special. The day that we got in is very special. But I always had that fear that I wasn't able to balance my budget just right. I remember looking at my kids and saying, I got to do whatever I can to balance that budget. I got to do whatever I can. And I did that to the best of my ability, and we made it through. But I didn't have a pandemic to contend with. I didn't have to pay accelerated gas prices. I didn't have anything that's going on today. But now we have this mortgage relief program to help you get through those tough times. So I am encouraging all those who have lost wages, who have lost their jobs, who have lost their businesses, who have been hurt by this pandemic and who have had medical challenges, reach out to us. We're here to help you. So I'm now going to introduce Sherry Friedenrich, who has been the Orange County's Treasurer Tax Collector since 2011. But I also want to congratulate her on her recent election to become the president of the California Association of County Treasurers and Tax Collectors. And finally, I want to thank you all for coming. Remember, we're here to help.
Thank you, Executive Director Johnson Hall, and hello, everyone. My name, as Ms. Hall mentioned, is Sherry Friedenrich. I am the elected Treasurer Tax Collector for Orange County, but just recently also elected as the president of the California Association of County Treasurers and Tax Collectors for the 58 counties in our state. I want to thank you for including me in this event to highlight this very important resource for Californians here in Los Angeles, Orange County, and all around the state. I'm very honored to partner with the California Mortgage Relief Program in assisting California homeowners who are facing financial hardships stemming from the COVID-19 pandemic. And I feel privileged to be here today celebrating the important program updates that Executive Director Johnson Hall just shared. Of course, I am most particularly thrilled to see the expansions related to the property tax assistance. County tax collectors have seen the toll that the pandemic took on those who struggled to make their property tax payments. So, by extending relief to homeowners who pay these taxes directly to the county, the program will help this vulnerable population, which includes many senior homeowners, get back on track. The enhancements to the California Mortgage Relief Program are a great example of how federal, state, and local government entities can collaborate to help those in need. For this new component, counties like ours worked hand in hand with the state to develop a process that will serve homeowners and can work for all of California's 58 counties. While many of us might feel like we're finally seeing the light at the end of the pandemic tunnel, the residual impacts are still very much with us. Tens of millions of Californians saw their lives changed forever, and they are still struggling to recover, and now with increased prices on almost everything due to inflation. I believe the California Mortgage Relief Program has done more than just get folks caught up on their housing payments. the program has reinvigorated many families with hope, many of whom are essential workers, and they are still, and they have been fearlessly on the front lines for us these past several years. With this announcement today, I, along with the county tax collectors across the states in the 58 counties, are ready to share the good news about this much-needed assistance with homeowners we work every day to serve. So at this time, I would like to introduce Rebecca Franklin. She is president of the Cal FHA Homeowners Resource Corporation.
Thank you and good morning. Before I take some questions, I just wanted to reiterate a little bit more specifics on the changes that we are announcing that Ms. Johnson Hall indicated. So first and foremost, our current program is a mortgage reinstatement program. The eligibility criteria has changed in that program. Now, households at 150% of their area median income are now eligible. So that's a raise up to 150% of your AMI. We encourage households to go to our website, camortgagerelief.org, to check our AMI table. You just put in your county and the number of people that reside in your household, and it will give you that number. We are using specific tables that HUD had created for this program, so we really want people to encourage to go to the website, check that out. The other criteria change is homeowners now must be 2 months behind on their mortgage payment, at least 2 months, with a current delinquency as of June 30th, 2022. We recognize that the pandemic is still here. It's still affecting us economically, and we want to make sure households that were affected in this year can also receive these funds, this grant. Secondly, we are announcing another way to help California homeowners through property tax assistance. This is geared to homeowners who may not have a mortgage, or maybe were not behind on their mortgage and didn't have an escrowed account, but were behind on their property tax. We are announcing another program, a second program, and that is a grant. You don't have to pay it back, up to $20,000. So homeowners that had previously applied to the reinstatement program were notified yesterday about these program changes. We wanted to make sure that those homeowners who were denied based on the program eligibility criteria that has changed, we have reached out to them because we wanted to make sure and encourage them to come back to the program, recheck their status, and apply. Engage with the program, call our contact center. We're here to help. At this time, we have about 10 minutes. I can take questions. Yes.
Could you please tell me how many people do you expect to get benefit from this program?
So the current delinquency rate in the state of California is about 2%. So with the reinstatement program, there's about 90,000 households that are maybe eligible for reinstatement. For property tax, our partners with the county tax collectors actually were very essential in giving us data points. And so we have projected about 50,000 households through the property tax program. Yes, it is a first come, first served basis. That's why we encourage people to engage with the program now, see if you are eligible, and get your application in. Thank you.
Yeah, Jaime Garcia from Univision. Is there the possibility that somebody that applied for the mortgage help also apply for the tax help?
It could be a possibility that someone could apply. So if you are behind on your mortgage payments, the reinstatement program, which is a cap up to $80,000, will also help you with your property tax. There, we will ask you to create an escrow or impound account. So if someone is delinquent on both property tax and mortgage, we encourage them to apply. And if they're just delinquent on their property tax, that's what the property tax program is for. But again, if you have questions, if a household's saying maybe this works for me, engage with us. We're here to help. This is one of many resources that the state of California and our federal partners have provided, but we want to get people to the right program for their situation. So we just encourage people to contact us and we'll get you to the right place. It's one-time funding. So it's a one-time grant, up to $80,000 for reinstatement, $20,000 for property tax. Yes.
A lot of people, paying the property tax late because they don't want to pay the penalty because its interest is really expensive, but they pay probably the credit card or something. So do you cover that late fee also even though they didn't pay, they don't have the delinquent, but they just pay the late fee or the interest. Do you cover that too?
No, so I think if I understand your question correctly, we are only covering delinquent property tax payments and delinquent mortgage payments. So at the time of application, you must have a delinquent balance on one of those accounts. Any other questions?
Yeah, just for as an example, you place 150% of the average and lower income. Would you give us an example? For example, how much will be that in Los Angeles?
So for Los Angeles County, a family of 4, 100% of AMI per the half HUD tables. I want to encourage again, these are specific tables created by HUD. Family 4, LA County, I'm rounding, but it's $178,000 annually. Sacramento County, I think it's about 151,000 annually. These are families of 4. Alameda County is about a little bit over 200,000 annually. 150% of AMI for each one of those county, and that's a family of 4. Yes.
Hi, I'm Iris from the Korea Times. I wonder, why did you decide to have a conference in Koreatown today? Is there a specific reason to have a conference here?
Yeah, there was a couple of reasons. One, this program facility has been so helpful in getting the word out. Even before we had launched our formal community-based organization network, this specific organization was helping people in this community. We also, for mortgage relief, mortgage arrearage and owing money on your mortgage is a personal thing, and we very much value that. We want to make sure that people feel that they are getting support in language that they're comfortable with, in culturally competent support. So this is a commitment to this program, and us having this here today is just showing that commitment again, that we want to make sure that people understand that we're here to help, and if it's not in English, we're here to help in a language that you're most comfortable in, and also in a culturally competent manner. You want to talk to a trusted resource about these kind of tough problems. And so an organization like this is somewhere where you can go and get that information from someone that you trust and value in your community.